Well, I said I was going to use the disc only and not till, but I just couldn't get it chopped up fine enough with a disc to suit me. It's so dry. Not optimal seatbed conditions at all. So my plan is to till this maybe, well, I don't know how many times yet, but to till it until I can get these clods broken down. The clods are worse where the actual hump is that has not been disturbed than they are in an area like I am now, which is fill dirt, you might say. It's stuff that we've moved from the hump. So I did my first pass just covering that area of the actual hump, the original hump. And now I'm kind of tilling all of it. Hey, I am thrilled to have this cab tractor. The air conditioner works, at least for weather like this. The weather is really pleasant today, but the dust is nasty. I am not looking forward to using the power rake to get this all smooth. Yeah, that's outside work. Well, I'm pretty sure this is helping. I think we can see a major difference each pass that I'm tilling here. And I think the angle you're looking at now, you can see what's happened. Now, the camera didn't get here in time to see the very first pass, but you did see it right after disking, and you can see how rough it was then. And yeah, that was a Saturday night, and this is a Monday that this is being shot. So it dried out even more over the weekend. So yeah, this is an example of doing the work when I have time to do it, rather than doing the work when the soil would be most suited for it. So this is the way most DIY folks like me are gonna have to do a project like this. If we could have done all of this work when my family was here with all those tractors, we could have done all of that and had it seeded that day. It would have been the best from the soil condition. And since then, it's just been dry, dry, dry. No regrets for this tractor purchase today, I promise you that. Without this, I would have been trying to figure out whether Johnny 5 could run this tiller or not. That's the only other cab machine I have. The tiller's really digging in this way, Christy. I'm pulling the tractor down a lot more than I was on the first pass. Yeah, we're down to just a few hours now before rain comes in, and I'm so picky with this seeding area, I'm having trouble getting to the seeding itself. This is what we had decided right here as the seed bed as of last night. I used a power rake, I used a harrow, we've been out here with the gator and rock bucket, everything else to pick up rocks, and this was our seed bed. Very recently, Ventrac loaned us this, they call it a soil conditioner. I'll show it to you here. And I had given up on using it. I just didn't think I had time. Hey, great marketing here. I put the rolling basket on upside down. Oh well, soil conditioner. And Christy said, you just got to try it. You got to try it somewhere. You know, I'm saying I don't have time. We got to plant seed. But we're going to try it here. And we've already done 1 or 2 passes. It's pretty incredible. And I don't have... Now I'm wondering what I'm going to do about doing this before the rain. Come take a look over here. This is basically a reverse rotation tiller, and then it's got some extra spikes on it that guide the rocks into the soil. And so here what you're going to see is I don't have it quite deep enough, or some of this sod is kind of holding it up a little bit. When you have it just deep enough, it will leave a smooth surface like that. See? Right here it did not. Now the reason I wanted to show you this spot was this pile of rocks was twice this wide. And one trip through did that. And it's sod underneath. This is not anything that I had tilled before. This is pure sod. Wow. So I had pushed these rocks out here intending to carry them off, and I thought, well, hey, I'll just see what this rock barrier does. I'd have to go over it again because what I've noticed is that when I'm tilling in sod, my 24, 25 horsepower Kubota diesel doesn't quite have enough oomph to handle going deep enough for this. Also, it's hard under there, so it's hard for it to get deep enough in one pass anyway. I don't think that's the intent of using this thing, is to go over sod. The only reason I tried this was because it was a pile of rocks that I was getting ready to pick up. but I want to show you how it's supposed to be used. Yeah, I'm worried about getting COVID out here in this 30-mile-per-hour wind. No, it's really dusty. So there's a hydraulic cylinder that controls the relative depth of the tiller and the rolling harrow. And so that's your depth adjustment. So I've just put this main hydraulic in float. Now I don't have any power issue if I'm running, you know, in something that's been worked before, like this. I only have the power issue in the sod. I'd say my only complaint so far is having to drive backwards. Hard for me to back straight. But look at this, isn't this amazing? I don't know how fast I can drive and still achieve the goal. I haven't tried that yet. Oh, here I am going crooked again. Wow, I can go fairly fast. It says 1.2. Now here's a sod spot. You can hear the engine pulling down maybe. I haven't figured out how to finish my pass. Probably just come back and do another pass over that. I'm gonna have to get this crook out of my path here as well. That's ridiculous. I'm starting where I start because that's where the sod kind of ends, and I don't really enjoy going through that hard sod. But you guys can see, hopefully, the rocks being, well, they're just disappearing. Overlap here a little bit to try to make this straighter. This thing's amazing. The question is, am I going to take the time to do the whole 2 acres or whatever? It's pretty hard not to. I probably got a rock stuck. Man. Okay, there's how I got it out. I just went backwards without spinning, and I see the rock. It was a big one. But we got through it that time. And it's totally gone. Wow, that was great. Encounter a rock that jammed the whole tiller. I just backed up with the tines off, and that spun it backwards and allowed it to unjam. And then I was able to go over the same rock again, and it totally disappeared. Okay, Christy, we got to have one of these. I wasn't even going to try it. I just had decided I didn't have time. Wasn't even going to try it. Christy, I'm seeing one potential problem. It seems to me that the right end is always up higher than the left end. So I'm gonna run back and check tire pressure and see if I'm tipped to the left or something somehow. I don't know. I don't know why the right end is always higher. So the direction I got on depth was to run it just kind of as shallow as you can, but yet leave that smooth top seat bed. It takes some depth, or else you have divots like what I just shown there. So maybe I better raise it up a little bit. I'm probably creating more of those. I say raise it up. I mean raise the basket so that it goes deeper. That's the first rock I've seen that it's tossed out right there. I need to be staying up the hill more. This is a mess back here. I'd be surprised if it can make anything of that. Oh, I didn't really want to grab that rock. Yep. Didn't really want to grab that rock, but I did. There it came out, I think. Yeah, I don't think we can expect that to go through. This is an amazing seed bed. I'm stunned. I had no idea that it would do this good. I told you I was going to change the air pressures a little bit, or at least check them. The front tires were even. I had about 17 psi in both of the front two tires. I ended up taking a few pounds out of the right one to see if I could make it work a little bit more level, and I believe it did. I believe it made it a little bit more level. I don't have a manual to this unit. It's a prototype unit, so I don't know. I couldn't see any adjustment, left to right adjustment. So perhaps you guys know, or perhaps someone from Ventrac can comment. If Ventrac does comment, I'll pin it below here as to if there's any side-to-side leveling adjustment. But that's really pretty minor. I mean, this is phenomenal. I'm still struggling to decide whether I'm going to do the whole 2 acres. Christy?
It looks great, so, but we don't have a lot of time. Let's run the seeder over it and see what it looks like.
I'm wondering if I need the harrow, though, for some of the ends. See, I've roughed up the ends. Yeah. The harrow is going to make it look worse, but, you know, it would get rid of these little every 4-foot angles. And then the spot where I put my knee here, that's another thing. This is very loose. I'm a little worried that when I run the tractor and seeder over it, I'll have the tire tracks out of it, and it'll make it kind of wavy. So that's a concern I have. You know what I think we should do, Christy, for an experiment is plant this area here after the soil conditioner, and plant the rest of it our traditional way. So just leave it alone. She's frowning.
Leave it up to you, though.
Here's what I'm talking about. See where I put my toe and my knee? Yeah. Put a little pressure on it. So it packs a little bit. I get that. It's hard for me to do a perfect job with it. For one thing, it's hard for me to back straight. Yeah, that's my problem. But beyond that, there's certain times that if something happens a little bit, you know, you get these little waves over here. I've got a little bit of a hump that I created. I created it because I didn't handle it right. Yeah, here's a little spot where I think a rock got into the rolling basket. Yeah, there's little spots like that. I think my harrow will take care of that. I'll go get it, and then we'll seed at least this area here. It'll be interesting to see if the seeder presses them down. This whole area here, I don't know what, we got a 1/4 acre?
Yeah.
One rock got through out of the tiller. This is the only rock that I saw thrown out, right? The rest of them buried, or of course the really big ones, I think I threw 2 or 3 out that were just really big. Okay, so the middle of it looks worse after harrowing, right? That had that nice smooth seed bed. But these edges look better. These areas where I have the humps and the furrows, I had to get those knocked down somehow. So yeah, they look better after I run the harrow. Okay, so the harrow has brought a few more rocks up that, you know, that the rock barrier or soil conditioner, as they call it, had buried. It's brought a few back up, I realize. But overall, I really like what I've done here because it's near the ends of the passes, especially the end where I pick it up. I'm able to knock down those humps that I generated, and where I made mistakes, I was able to do it better. There's no question to me that this seed bed looks better than that seed bed, right? My question is, how much effort do I put into this, and will it make any difference in the long run? And I have to decide that quickly. I don't have time to wait on your comments. Wouldn't that be great? I've learned for this turf type tall RTF fescue, whatever it's called, for this seeder I run it wide open as fast as it will seed. I've got the fastest sprockets on it, and I've got these little cups open to their, well, the widest setting. I still don't get the recommended amount on. Drill, baby, drill. Well, this seed bed's not optimal, but it looks pretty good once the seeders ran over it and pushed those rocks down just a little bit. I'm gonna go without straw. I feel like we're late enough in the season that we're not gonna have heat, and we're supposed to get rain this afternoon. I'm hoping that maybe the rainy season is here. We begin to get rain, we can get this grass to grow, and I won't need any straw. This will be a good test of this seeder. I intend to go over this just once and take what we get. Trying to avoid real sharp turns. I don't want to dig in here and make ruts. I've really enjoyed this project, but like any project, I felt a little time constraint, right? I mean, we have a lot of other stuff we have to do that you guys probably never see on video when we're going to some of these trade shows and things, so it's hard for us to get a project like this, a big project, done. It's fascinating to see Christy duck as the drone flew right over her head there. Today's October 25th. Everyone in the area here says it's too late to plant seed. And they're probably right. The thing is, we've had no rain, so I don't really see any point in having planted it earlier. It would just be sitting here. But we're finally supposed to get that rain this afternoon. We know the rain will happen. It's just different year to year. I may be empty. Turf Saver RTF from Advanced Turf Solutions. It's probably some of the most expensive grass seed you can buy. But hey, Christy's worth it. It's supposed to stay green more than a bluegrass. And yet it doesn't have as wide a leaf as a Kentucky 31 fescue, so it looks a little nicer than that. It's a ground-driven seeder, so it doesn't really matter how fast I go. Of course, there would be a limit. Now, if you haven't seen it, make sure you go check out the episode where we created this swale with the laser and the box blade. That's one of my favorite tools, and I just love the job you can do without much slope. As you probably saw in earlier episodes, we put a lot of starter fertilizer on this. This soil is going to be really bad. It's the subsoil out of the pond. We know it's not going to be good. We did not do a pH test. We'll have to maybe do that in the spring or some other time, because we'll probably need to put some lime on this. But again, we just ran out of time. There's no way I'll get anything to grow on this part without a rain. I mean, it was just nothing but dry clods. But I got small clods now. I've tilled and tried to get them small, so I think a little rain now maybe might allow it to come up. There is just no comparison of these two seed beds. This is so much nicer where we ran that soil conditioner. I still don't regret my decision not to do all of it though, because it's getting dark already. Rain's coming. I can see impressions where the tractor tracks go. That looser soil does make a little bit of ripples in it when you run the tractor through it. I should have put the seeder on the 1025R for turning radius purposes. Now I want you to check out the ditch. I taken out some of the slope, so I guess from the negative standpoint, our slope testing area has been reduced, but yeah, I intended to make a much less ditch there. There's still enough ditch to drain water from the road, so that should be fine, but I don't see any reason to have it as steep as it was. The wind is at least 20 miles per hour. It's a great day to use one of these contact seeders instead of one of the little whipper spinners. It's be no telling where the seed would be if we were using one of those. With this one, we at least know the seed's getting this close to the ground, and the cavity in there is not going to let the wind in there much, so I think it'll work great. It's not perfectly smooth out here, but it's about the best I could do. I think we'll be able to mow it at whatever speed we need to. I'm not sure if I've ever shown you my dad's wisdom on how to open a bag like this, any bag that's been sewn. A lot of people end up just cutting or whatever, just trying to get in. Well, what you can do is you can find the side that has just one string on it, right? So one side of this will have a whole bunch of strings where it's been tied with the sewing machine. And yeah, it's a hand sewing machine, or they're probably more automated now, but there is a hand sewing machine. They can run right across the top to do these. But on the side that has just one string, you can grab that one string right here. Now it's hard for me to show you because my fingers are in the way, but if you grab that one string, you can just pull it, okay? And it'll just come right out of there, okay? So that's the first half of it. The second half, and this is where Dad will growl at you if you don't do the right thing. It's natural just to go ahead and pull this right off, right? Well, Dad says, no, you can't do that. You stop about right there, and that way you don't have to chase down the other pieces of your bag in the wind. Okay, and then that gives you a place to grab onto your bag. So about this time, you guys are saying, why are we watching this dolt on video? We should be watching his dad. Yeah. I wish I had more videos of Dad's wisdom, but tell you what, we'll make a playlist of the videos that my dad was in, and we'll just call it Tim's Dad, and we'll have all those videos. We'll put that on our YouTube channel homepage. Yeah, it would have been great to have had wisdom from Tim's dad, and just there could have been hundreds of videos. And I missed some of that because I moved away and went to college, and then went on and got a city job. But my brother Tom, he got years and years and years of wisdom from, in his case, Tom's dad, right? Well, this project is finally finished, and none too soon. It actually started raining on us while we were still seeding. And here's some shots of the grass so far. 16 days after seeding, at least it looks green, right? It's not a perfect stand. Some places I think I may have ran out of seed and didn't know it. And other places, well, who knows what happened. It's been fairly warm for this time of year. Highs about 70, lows in the 40s. Hasn't been below freezing since I believe the first night after we seeded it. Unfortunately, I think that warm spell is over. It's going to be cold from now on. As it is written in the book of the words of Isaiah the prophet, a voice of one calling in the wilderness, prepare the way for the Lord, make straight paths for him. Every valley shall be filled in, every mountain and hill made low. The crooked roads shall become straight, the rough ways smooth, and all God's people will see God's salvation.